Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Shilpa Data Insights.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we are going to discuss one more important topic of Python. We have covered so many topics already related to Python, like we have started with the variables, which is the foundation, then we went to the string, and also we checked about the other data types like the Boolean operator. Also we saw the membership operator, identity operator, and then we explained about the control flow. What exactly is the control flow? How to deal with the if-else statement. So these are the foundations of Python. If you have not watched those videos, I would highly recommend you to go ahead and watch the videos so that you know the foundation of it and then jump to this video. In this video, we will be covering some real-time scenarios of the control flow statements, which is the if-else condition. And we will also discuss how we can go ahead and write the if-else condition in one line. Because in the industry, you might come across the if-else condition which is written in one line rather than in 4 or 5 lines. So you need to understand what exactly that code means and how exactly to write that code, because that particular code is very easy to understand and also readable format, right? And that's why we will be covering in today's topic how to write it in one line and also the real-time scenarios. Don't miss the real-time question that I will be explaining it to you, because this will give you a foundation how exactly things works in industry. So without any delay, let's get started with today's topic of if else, which is the part 2 of the part 1 that we have already covered. And if you like the video, do hit the like button, subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends so that I get motivation to create much more videos and help you out, guys. So let's get started. So now we will be learning about the if else, which we can do it in one line. So what it means, we have seen few statements here. Let me write it down. So we have here, let's say, if a is greater than 10, then print a, else print b, right? Now, if in case you have the score, as we were using a different example, I will write if score is greater than 90, then I want to print pass, that I passed it. Now, if in case it's not, then I will else I'll print that you actually failed. Now, if you will see this particular piece of code, you can actually write it in one line. So let's say how exactly we can write it in one line. Now, in this particular thing, if we will see, we have this particular statement, that is if score is greater than 90. What I will do is I'll put it as it is. This is my condition that I need to check, right? So what I will do is I will write here if my score is greater than 90. So this condition I actually put it here, right? Now, if this particular condition is true, then what I will do, I'll go ahead and print pass, right? I will go ahead and print this pass. So what I will do is I'll go ahead and write it before my condition. So this is before my condition. Now what I will do is I'll write pass. If this condition is true, then I will write this pass. So this is my condition and this is my output if the condition is true. Now let's say if the condition is false, what I am going to do is I'll write else. In this particular else statement, I have this particular f. It means if in case the condition is not true, I'm putting my else, and what I want f, right? If the condition is not true. Now this is my condition, that is, this is my output when exactly it is false, right? So this condition, either it can be true or it can be false. So you have this else keyword and you have the output and you have this if keyword and you have the output. So the output of the if statement will be on the left side if the condition is true, and the output of the else statement will be on the right side if in case the condition is false, right? Now the interesting thing is you can put it inside a variable that I was showing here. So let me just remove this particular part that I just showed, and let's concentrate on this particular code. Now if you will see, this is the same thing that I wrote. If this particular score is 90, which is this condition, then it is true that I'm passing. And if in case it's false, then I am passing here. So true comes here, false comes here, right? Now, what happens here? In this is just a one line. It's very easy to read, right? And in this particular one line, I'm passing a variable. What I'm doing is, whatever output is there, I will be storing inside this value. It means even if it's true, it will be storing the value inside this variable, and even if it's false, it's going to store it inside this particular variable, right? Now, the only major part here that I can help you is, don't use this one line statement if there are nested if in case there are nested if, I would not recommend you to use this. The second thing you need to keep in mind, the else statement is a must, right? You cannot write it if in case it's not having an else statement. Now, the important part here is, this is used only for simple logics, okay? You have to keep it in mind that it's only used for simple logic. And this is basically, it's very, very, very quick, right, to write this code. It's also short and also easy to understand because it is in one line. So as I was giving you the example of the car, you have if, then picked up by your cab. If not, else then you use your public transport, right? So these two are the functionalities. So it's very quick and it's short to write and also easy to understand, but it needs to be used for simple logics only, okay? Only simple logics. Don't use it in anything which is not simple logic, right? So now let's see this in action. So this particular statement that we have, this if else statement, I'll convert this if else statement to one line code, okay? To my one line code. Now in this one line code, what I will do is, I will go ahead and write my if statement. If the score is greater than 90, then what output I need? I need my output as A. Okay. Now, if my output is not right, then I want F. Okay. Now, what I can do is, you can see some yellow symbol. You can understand what exactly is there. There's one warning and 3 weak warnings. Basically, it's not giving you an error, but it's giving you a warning. Okay. Now, I will put this inside my X variable. Now, you see the yellow symbols actually went away, right? So, in this, what I will do is, I will print my X. Okay. So, let me comment this particular part and show you just the print of X. You see, now my score is what? 60. 60 is not greater than 9, so it's printing me F. Okay, so it's working fine. So now if I print 100, then 100 is greater than 90, so I will print what? A. Now, if I understand here, what you can also do is, instead of assigning this in a variable, you can put a print statement here. So in this print statement, it's going to give you the same result, that is A, right? Now, if you will see this particular piece of code that I commented, this has multiple lines. So in this multiple lines, I cannot do a print statement. I have to check this, then I will go to this. It's a straight line code, right? I have to check this and then it will go to this particular piece of code and execute. Then I will go to this piece of code and execute, and then piece of code and then execute, and so on, right? Then I will go ahead and print the whole thing. I cannot put a print statement here and put everything inside this print statement. So to make it easier, I'm putting a print statement and making it in a one line code. Okay, so now let's go ahead and remove this and basically do a challenge. So what exactly is our challenge for today? So you are given an email address, let's say abc at email at gmail.com. Okay, now my challenge here will be that email must not contain spaces. Second, it must contain .com or .org and so on. Then it must be greater than 8 characters. Then it must contain alpha. Must start with an alpha or a number, and also end with an alpha or number. So this is my actual requirement. Think of it how exactly you can solve this particular question. Pause the video, do the challenge by your own, and come back and see how it is also done. And if you like the video, do hit the like button, subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends so that it gets a better reach and everyone learns Python in an easy way. So in this, I have an email. Now, what I will do is I will check. I will do an email is equal to email dot strip, right? If I do an email dot strip, now I'll check if length of my email is equal to length of email x. Then what I will do, I'll do print email is valid. Okay, so now let me run this piece of code. You see, the email is here, abc@gmail.com, and I am checking if the length of email is length of email x, then it's valid. Okay, now, and if in case it is not equal, then it will say email is not valid. So let me go ahead, put some space in it. Now you will see the length of email is not equal to the length of email x. So email is not valid, right? Now, what I will do is, then I will check because there are multiple conditions. So I have to check another condition, whether it is blank or not. Now I'll check if email is equal to, there's nothing inside it. Then I'll do print email is blank. So the user has not given any email. Okay, now if you will see, I have print email is blank. So what I will do is here, I don't, email is blank, so that is not valid, right? So if it is not equal to, then it is actually valid, right? So I will put not equal to is not blank, right? So now let me execute this and I will remove the spaces, right? Because I want to go ahead and check. So it says the length of email and this is not valid, right? Because it is not done. So let me execute this. So I'm checking here if email is not blank. So I'm getting email is not blank. So let me do here one thing. I'll put an else statement because after everything, if all the conditions are false, then I will be doing an else statement. So in this else statement, I'll do a print email is not valid. Okay, now in this condition, the email is valid, not having blank. So let me run this. Now it says email is having blank because basically this condition is not true, right? So what I want is, in all the if condition, I want to go ahead and check and see if the email is valid. If in case the email is not valid, then I'm going to print that. So in these two conditions, we actually check that the email is not valid. Right now, the email is valid, right? Now, let's do another elif in which the email is equal to, it must contain the .com and .org. So we will have email dot end with .com or .org. Then in that case, I will be printing email must contain .org and .com. In this particular case, what I will do is, it's actually ending with .com and .org. What I want to negate this condition. So for that, I will be putting a not statement inside this, and I'll see. If in case it doesn't contain .org and not .com, then I'm going to print this. So stating email must contain .com and .org. So it says an error. Let's figure out what's the error message. So this should be inside a tuple. Okay, that was the error message. So we have fixed this. So it must contain. So actually it also contain .com. So therefore the email is valid. Now it must be greater than 8. So let's also see must contain alphabet. So I'll copy this particular statement itself and I'll paste it again. And in this, I will do that email in, it should have alpha. So this alpha needs to be inside the quotes. So email must contain alpha, right? If in case it doesn't contain alpha, then it is not valid and it will say email must contain alpha. The next we will have is the email length must be greater than 8. So email length of the email should be greater than 8, right? If in case it is not greater than 8, then it's not valid. Okay, now the next we have is, it should start and ends with alpha. So I'll just go ahead and do this print and copy and paste it here. In this email dot ends with an alpha, right? Alpha numeric. So we will have email dot is alpha numeric, and email last letter should also be alpha numeric, right? If in case it's not alpha numeric. So if you will see here, it says email must contain alpha. So this particular alphabet, it should actually contain. Let me see. I have given not email in this. It is not email in this. Alpha in email. So that is an opposite thing that I wrote. So therefore, this condition was not satisfying. So let me write it. Alpha should be in email. So now you see all the conditions are met, and that's why it actually goes ahead and prints email is valid. So it will first check the email length, because I have stripped it, and see if in case the email length is same, and it will check if it's blank, and then it will check if in case it's not ending with .com and .org, then it says that you need to have .com and .org, and if in case alpha is not there in email, it will say it must contain. And if in case length is greater than 8, it must contain. And if in case the first letter and the last letter is not alphanumeric, email is not alphanumeric. You have to have an email which is valid. So this was a challenge of the day, how exactly you can go ahead and use multiple if else statement, elif statement, and execute it, and then return an else value if in case all the previous conditions are false. Right? So we have covered a lot of topics already, starting with the string, the data type, the Boolean expressions, the variables, how the membership operator works, the in operator works, the comparison operator, the logical operator, and so on, right? And then we will, in the next session, we will be covering the loops, right? If you do like the video, do hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and share it with your friends. Do not forget to do it so that you get the notification and you will be notified for my next video, that will be the loops, when it will be releasing. So stay tuned till the next video and practice well. Without practice, you will not be able to catch all the logic. So don't forget to practice and practice and practice.
Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you have a good day.